Oh, we're on. Okay. Lanny is feeling unhinged today. What did you say?
Sorry, I'm really unhinged. I'm vaping on screen.
You're unhinged today.
That'd be totally just me. I always try to hide my vape. No, that's disgusting, Lanny.
What?
I don't want to vape on YouTube.
I don't know how many. I actually have not. That's the
I've
one
never-
platform that I do not.
I've never seen it. And I always
better.
forget that we are being watched.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah,
Right?
I'm trying to like up the YouTube game.
How?
Which is actually what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that today.
On air?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Let's
we
go.
just need to make it
The
better.
team meeting on
I
air.
actually love YouTube. I'm so down.
Yeah,
I think YouTube is a great platform. And I think like we're all video content. I just set up a great business idea for Xander and Zach. He was so into it. You want to hear?
Sure.
So like you kind of don't play, kids don't play with blocks really after a certain age. It's kind of like a baby toy, you know? But lots of kids like build and do that shit. Like your kids like forts and all that stuff. So we were in this office and there was these massive blocks and Xander like was making this like crazy structure and then like trying to knock it down with like these like darts that weren't like heavy enough. And I'm like, he needs not a BB gun. He needs a Nerf gun. And I was like, this would be so fun. And like, if imagine he like did these videos of him like knocking them down and destroying them, and like that shit would go viral. Like kids love seeing things being built and destroyed. I'm like, my kids have so much energy. I'm like, Zach, we could have like competing house wars. Like you could build one, we could build one.
I think that's a good idea.
I do too. I think Zach is personally obsessed with like YouTube videos and likes and downloads and like all that kind of stuff.
They can have that's like a positive thing that they can be doing online. Like they have a lot of energy. They love to destroy everything. And it's like, so destroy your fucking thing. And they could post it. They could do different video editing. Like he's always taking my phone and doing stuff. And I'm like, they're obsessed with their iPad. So I'm like, I don't know. It was like such a good idea that was given to me for Xander. And I'm like, then we could, it would just be a fun thing for the boys to do. And like, what's his name? Ryan? Do you know who Ryan? Okay.
Yes.
The Filipino boy that crushed it with his parents.
Yes.
If those three can crush it.
You want them? Yeah. Well, I think
Have you ever seen this show?
No.
Okay. It's this little Filipino boy with glasses that like is very just like cute and interested and curious like in the world and like basically just does pranks with his two goofy parents and like kids are obsessed with it. Like Ryan's legit, he's got toothbrushes now, like he's all over Shoppers Drug Mart. Like this kid make a killing and it was all from YouTube. I mean, Justin Bieber got discovered off of YouTube.
listen,
That's why we have to up our YouTube game.
So they're full circle. Okay,
I'm
so
all for it, but this sounds like a project. I think if you want to spearhead this with the boys.
I'm down. I already ordered everything.
Oh.
I told you that was Zach's
What
gift.
okay, so what's the name of
I don't know. It was up to Zach, and then he had a meltdown with the medicine. So I don't know. I was trying to get him to think of their different family names, and I'm trying to think of like not really violent names right now. I'm like, it will be a. I was like, so I was like, what competition? And then
Right. It could be about the building thing. Have you seen those two guys on YouTube that they're like not
Wreck-It Ralph.
No, they're not like cavemen, but like they they like are in the wilderness and they like literally build like homes in like 20 minutes out of
branches.
But
Ooh.
clearly it's like there's a whole production team
good.
behind this.
That would be good. So it's fake.
Yeah. Oh, there's no way this is
okay.
real.
So
But they're wearing like grass skirts. Like it's like
Sounds a little hammed up, but I got you. That, yeah.
it's fully manufactured, but it is insane. These videos get millions and millions and millions. Anyways, I think there is something there.
And also there's so much around Instagram right now. A lot of kids can't go on it. A lot of people are like, it's a sensitive time in that whole world. And for kids to feel completely disconnected from that, I think is weird, because it's like their world. They're used to going on Instagram and YouTube and seeing everything. So like to find maybe other things that they can be doing, especially for little kids. Cause it's like, I'm done fighting with them a little bit about the technology. It's like clearly like I was looking at Jones the other day. He literally was like a savant. I was like, how did you get into that app? It is like nuts. Like he went into 3 folders. He knew exactly where the app was, closed it when a message came up. I was like, holy shit. So this is like, instead of fighting it, like yes, I'm not saying give your kids iPads 24/7, but I don't know. I thought that was like the best advice I was ever given. So I thought to make it a thing.
Saying let's pimp our kids out and make money off of them through marketing initiatives.
I'm down to be a land manager.
Yeah. I just had this image of like Jones as like baby Stewie from Family Guy.
Oh my God.
But I feel like that is literally every baby now.
Yeah. he actually dictates. Like, he was so mean to me yesterday.
He's like, mommy.
No, like this 3-year-old literally abused me. And I was like, this is like, he got up early and I was just like, how do I say no to this adorable munchkin? But it's like, you really forget you're so far from that stage. Like, I'm talking like he's 3 in a sleep sack in a crib still.
He's still in a sleep sack. Haven't heard that word in a while.
I had to reverse backwards a sleep sack.
Reverse, like put his feet through the armholes?
Sorry. Just backwards.
Oh, the zipper. Oh, because he was unzipping
Yeah,
himself.
I guess that's not
God,
that
yeah.
original. Yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
I would never fight someone I would never fight moving a kid out of a crib early just to say, my kid's in a bed.
Same.
Like, am I 3? Or like people that are like, I've never, like, people do potty training their whole own way. I just have never been able to force it. Like, literally, my kids just like, for me, the more relaxed I've been, the more they like to shit on the toilet. And it's like, I don't know. It just has worked.
Yeah. You know what? This is a good thing to talk about because this drives me nuts, or used to drive me nuts, because I'm more out of it now. But when moms flex over milestones and but do it in a way that rubs it in. Like,
we know the people on Instagram that do that. We all have friends we want to unfollow that we can't because they do that.
You know what? Your kid's walking at 9 months? What the fuck? Like, my kids literally walked at 18 months. They were so...
And do you know what I think really, to your point, it's a really good call. Like, what does that say about the person posting it? You're so fucking insecure that you're trying to flex your kid walking at 9 months. You have nothing else to do. Like, I'm not saying not cheering on for that shit, but you know what you're doing when you post stuff like that.
But I care less about social media and more when I would be within these mom groups. And it was kind of like this... You could tell they were bragging, but like trying not to, but clearly doing it.
Give me an example.
You know what I mean?
Come on, give me and maybe one of your accents.
You'd be. I'm trying to think. Like when I was in my mom groups, I mean, just to what I said, it was like you'd be sitting
like
around.
The subtleness
your
of
kid
it
was
is
clearly
not moving. Your kid was not moving.
Kid is clearly not moving, and it's like,
9 months.
oh my god, baby Jane's been like walking for 4 months,
right? Like, that's malicious. That's like literally mean.
Yeah,
your baby's not moving. Your baby is, and the moms would be like, yeah, like my baby's been moving for like an extra 6 months. Like, actually, when you think about that, my baby's been moving for 6 months longer than your baby's.
I mean, they didn't say it like that, but they said it in a way that still like makes you feel so insecure and so bad about yourself.
And that's how ridiculous it is.
Totally. I agree. Anyways, for any new moms out there,
Shut the fuck up.
do
I feel
that.
like it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't end though. I feel like
no, it
doesn't.
So,
I feel like your kid could be like 13 and they're still like, my son does this, my daughter does this.
100%. That's why you can't surround yourself with those assholes.
But those could be your parents.
Yeah, like my dad was like that for sure. He was like, my son does this.
Your
My
could
son
be your
does
siblings.
that.
It could be your that could be
True.
literally. You gotta just like.
Yeah, you gotta block it out. You do gotta block it out.
Yeah, and it's good to have like cheerleaders for sure, but it's another thing to have like, oh God, like those moms that are posting that shit about their kids wiping their ass online are gonna be.
You're talking about the bad moms. We're like the Mila Kunises, and you're talking about
dream. This is your dream. We're
nope, can't talk about it. I know.
Do you know? I just want to give myself one like two a piece of whatever. I was thinking about this. Like, I've had to do this podcast through like quite a transformative time in my life while trying to be like authentic because I really felt shitty about how things just like transpired with our business. Not anything like whatever, but just like I actually can't speak about like probably 75% of my life on here. And we were just like joking before about like how good the actual content would be if I could be like full rogue. Like if I could like actually just talk, and I'm not trying to like hype this up because everyone's like, we just want to hear. And the real authentic self of mine, if I could actually go, which like maybe I could in like.
Well, whoa. Here's a money-making opportunity right here is with pods, they start Patreons. And Patreons is like a membership that people pay for extra content for your podcast. So you can get people to pay you money.
You're about me like losing my virginity.
For exclusive content.
I mean, Ryan, Lanny just explained how she struggled with herself on social media and her authenticity. I feel like paying for her content might make her feel a little dirty.
People will pay you to just
listen. If I'm controlling it, this does feel dirty in a good way.
Well,
is this like me posting my feet?
Ew.
Probably not. But
I feel like you took that to a totally different level than what Brian was describing. You're describing like a fetish OnlyFans
like
page.
an OnlyFans
He's
page.
talking about like this personal content of your life. Yeah.
Okay, so there is something to that because this is another issue that I'm really trying to deal with is boundaries and learning, doing stuff with like more intention and not letting everyone in on everything in my life. That is like a goal of mine because I don't think everyone should know everything about my life. And I've just obviously, and not obviously, but in the past, I've just given it away because that's who I am. And I'm a little bit of a free spirit like that. But I've learned that it hasn't always benefited me. So to give all my goods out too, that's like, it's a little bit feels, and it's not, and also like, I'm not, like, I don't think I have that much. This wasn't to be like, I've got so many amazing stories I'm holding out on. It's more just like, the compliment was the fact that I've been able to manage and still like have to be funny or whatever today when like you guys have no fucking idea what's going on.
Well, we've already spoken for 20 minutes. You probably don't even realize.
You're like, shut up.
Anyways,
Okay,
moral
go.
of the story is if you guys want paid extra
Oh, here we
behind
go.
the scenes
Here we go.
content.
I knew she was gonna go back there.
Guys.
The fucking money
start thinking-
maker.
You
Guys, if
start
let's
roasting
monetize
people.
this. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, let's move on. What else do we want to talk about? I know. We talked about this before we started recording.
Halloween.
6. We both saw 6 and we loved it.
It was incredible.
Welcome to the show, to the history.
Okay, we were really we didn't know. I knew the premise of the show.
I did not.
So we had to rush there. I got to 6. We sit down. It was all good. We got there and I look over and the show starts and it's divorce, beheaded, killed. That's the last one.
Yeah.
And those 3 things.
Yeah.
Divorced, beheaded, killed. No, that wasn't the third. Survived.
It's a very aggressive start if you have no idea what the
Like,
show's about.
I knew it was about all the people that survived King Henry. What's his name?
Were you at the show?
What's
Do you
his
even know what you
name?
saw? All
What's
the people who survived? It was his 6
Sorry,
wives.
the 6 wives. But
This is literally the worst summary of like, did you
only one survived, but what was his name? King Henry?
King Henry?
Yeah, sorry, the six tales of the 6 wives.
Yeah, or yes.
Anyways, and it was their untold story, and it was incredible because it was tied to music and TikTok and all the good things, but it opened in a very aggressive way, and those were the ways that all the wives died.
Yeah.
And just given the current climate of the world and the fact that I'm going through a divorce, my dad and I looked at each other, and I was like, he's like, did you know what this was about? And I'm like,
It was
my
aggressive.
kids are like, I'm like, maybe this will just bring more light to the conversation. Like it was.
But the show was amazing. Can I tell you my favorite part of the show?
Okay.
It was an hour and a half. No intermission.
Yeah. I
Why
respect that.
can't every show, if I have to sit through a 3-hour show, a 3-hour movie, like
Yeah.
what do these people want from us? That is
No,
no
I
one-
know what
no
they
one can
want. You
sit
know what
for
they
that.
want? They want money at intermission. Doop doop doop.
No, that is honestly, if every show and every movie could do that, I just
Movie.
okay,
No, I'm
maybe
with
2
you.
hours, maybe 2 hours over
keep it low. Keep it.
a 3 Oppenheimer. I get it. There's a lot to put in there, but like, come
Never
on,
saw it. Couldn't. Attention span 0.
this feels wrong to make something that long. Anyways, I love the show. It was like fast. It was catchy. We're like literally listening to that soundtrack on repeat.
No, it was an
incredible.
incredible show. Highly recommended. The whole cast and like it was like a modern day Spice girl power. It was like
Mhm.
why were their stories not told and they
Mhm.
were and they had to survive. The whole premise of the show is it was a competition to see who had to put up with the most bullshit from King Henry.
It was great.
It was great. So yeah, I'm actually going to see Jagged Little Pills tomorrow.
Oh, let me know how that is.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really good too.
But is it a story to the soundtrack
I think
of
so.
Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
just a music. Like it is a music. Okay, got it.
I think told to a story.
I love that.
That was like,
I want to do that. I love that.
have you seen Moulin Rouge? in New York?
No.
Okay. Fantastic. One of the best shows I've seen.
Okay.
So it is Moulin Rouge, all set to modern music. And they read like they
Oh, I thought you were gonna go the other way with that.
no.
Okay.
So it's like the whole story set to like Justin Bieber and Drake and Katy Perry. Currently,
I've been looking for something to take I'm going to go. That is my kids. All of them can go
in New York, though.
No. I wanted to do a weekend away.
Yes,
that's a perfect show to go to.
It is.
Like they'll know all the music.
They will know every song. I mean, it is about prostitution, so
no,
maybe.
But like we saw Rent at young age, and I was like, yeah, I want to be Mimi. Take me out. You know, like.
Yeah,
literally.
They don't need to know something. It's fine. You don't have to explain some things. But yeah, the music it's so good.
Yeah. I'm down. Okay, so that's great. So I'm doing that, and then we have a Halloween party, which is very exciting.
Yeah, which Ryan is like. Okay, so we've talked about this last year, but I don't know how many new listeners we have. So our friend every year hosts the most epic Halloween party. It's at a different location. There are categories for
friends, Larry and Cheryl.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
it was because we were always friends with Cheryl before, and now we're friends.
Two of our friends host this. There's like the categories for prizes. So there's like best couple, best homemade. I bet you this year there's going to be best Barbie. Like there is a lot
creative.
There's a lot of categories. The prizes are like
legit.
A Dyson, Apple AirPods, like
a new home. Like a little Ferrari.
She's Oprah. She's literally Oprah, and she's giving away these prizes like.
Like, I think I literally fought your brother once for a Dyson. He's like, have it, and we're on the same team. I'm like, oh. And then you're like, wait, you got that? Remember?
Well, I've convinced Benji.
We won the group prize first year when we were gladiators. A little awkward. Okay, honestly, like, let's just be fucking honest here. Last year I was with Mark at the Halloween party too. It's like, it's a lock for me. It's like, you always force couples costume on us. Like, it's like.
No, I don't. That was just that 1 year. I didn't force last year. Actually, hey, excuse me. Hey, Ayo.
You fit, Zacho.
I went with Benji as Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, and you were pissed. You were like, oh, I remember. You were like, so we're not doing a couple's costume? Yes, I actually remember. You were like, you felt slighted that I had not suggested. You're like, I guess we'll just do our own thing. I remember.
Okay.
So don't.
Okay,
yeah.
You might be right there. Also, different times, different factors, different players.
No, I'm not upset. I'm just saying.
Also, just to be fair, like Mark loved Halloween and costume, so that's really something you guys, always like loved on.
You do not like Halloween.
No, it was not. No.
That's a family thing. Benji hates it too. Aubrey hates it too. No, I think your whole family.
Aubrey did not hate it.
Well, he's.
This is also just a very, I guess it's just a Mark day today, but this was a very funny joke that Lauren and Mark just have about Aubrey on Halloween, because it is true. He had a lot of interesting costumes growing up, and one year it was just a big-breasted woman with a wig.
He was Jane Doe.
He was an unattractive lady. Let's go there. He was an unattractive lady with big bosoms. He had, I think, a wart on his face, and he had a wig, like a witch's wig on. I was like, bro, what are you going for? And I don't know, did you see the picture, which is why you...
The picture's in your hallway at home. It's like on full display. Your parents have chosen very interesting pictures actually to put on display in your house.
Okay, we went to like one Canyon Ranch, and we all were in like seemed to be a forced talent show.
It wasn't Canyon Ranch. That's a spa for adults. It was Club Med.
Club Med forced talent show.
Big difference.
Big difference. So Benji was an acrobat. So he's sitting on a bar. I've never seen such erect posture in my life. Lauren, could you please do it? You know it very well. Both arms.
Can't hold the mic, but it's like
both arms.
See now, you want to watch YouTube if you want to see this. This is like the first picture I was introduced to when I went to your house of Benji. He is in a fully erect position in like leggings and like suspenders on a circus.
No, and red leotards with like erect posture, like it could have been a gymnast.
Hey, let's talk about your outfit. You are in a unitard with underwear underneath that's poking out.
The girl in front of me was so cute, and like she wore no underwear, and she was 5, and it was a leotard that went up your ass. She had these big red lips on, no underwear, and she's right in front of me in the picture. I'm there with my dorky full underwear on. My mom brushed out my curls.
Let's be honest, you were probably wearing the underwear not out of like a sexy thing, but because of your mom, who's super crazy and probably didn't want you wearing the rental unitard on your vagina.
100%. So that was me looking. I thought that was me in my cutest stage.
You're adorable.
Yeah. And then Aubrey.
What was he?
Oh, he was singing. He was in a talent show
or something?
No, that was Noah. He was singing on stage. And then Noah was on the drums. And I remember the only way they would make Noah sit still, they had cookies at the end of the drumstick so that he would sit there that's what they were dealing with.
How do we get on this topic? I know, because of the pictures around your house. It's like, you know what? That's what I'm missing. I need to, like, I know I have some pictures, but I feel like
there needs to be a new creative way to do that though.
Right. Like in the 80s, think about all the pictures. Like, did you have those glamour? Oh, you do. Because I know you have them in your parents' basement.
Everyone had that. What's that brand? Like Rizzoli?
What?
The one that's at every corner of every bat mitzvah thing. It's like Rizzoli. I don't know.
You have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm talking about the glamour shots you did as a family that were up in your hallway, like the giant pictures where you're like
where it's
under
and
your
you're
chin.
like airbrush beyond.
Yeah.
And everyone looks like the same bad 80s way. Like that blow.
I should bring that back.
No, leave it.
Like
there.
taking the pictures or putting them in your house?
Both.
I don't
Well,
know.
now they sell like massive picture frames where you can like import them digitally, so they like switch.
Every, like a slideshow.
Yeah.
It's just like having it's very modern, but it kind of takes the hominess away from it. And there's people that overdo it for sure, but like there's a way to do it. I don't know. It's nice to make it homey and have these things. I haven't found a balance. You know, my house is like stark and like I find it really hard to put out family photos.
You should do. I feel like you've got so many walls for like one of those like portrait walls or whatever, like as you're going up the stairs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird though that you're getting separated, I guess. like boop, boop, boop. You just do the kids.
No, my girlfriend that like got separated from her husband, she did a portrait, like a shoot with her kids. And it was actually the most beautiful thing. And it's like these great shots of the three of them. And it's like really like, I'm like, it's just, she's so cute that she did that. I was so inspired. I'm like, that's like, she's like, regardless of what happens, I just like really want to remember like this time in my life.
Yeah.
You know, for as hard or as whatever it is, I was like, you're so fucking cool that you would do that. I'd be like awkward.
But that's actually so interesting because I remember, and I feel like this is like a big point of debate with so many people when they get married about like, if you are getting married and your sister-in-law or your sister is dating someone, do they get to be like, what is the length of period, right? So do you remember at my wedding, Lanny had a boyfriend. How long were you dating? 2 years? Maybe? A year and a half? A year.
Was I in London still?
Who the hell knows? Anyways, we didn't know who this guy was, how long he was going to last. He could have been gone the next day, but he's in all of our videos.
Yep.
He's in all of our pictures. And I made a point because, like, at the end of the day, for me and for Benji, that's a moment in time. So, like,
what happened?
It's what happened. So, for example, Mark is in pictures.
Yeah, so
too,
was one of my closest friends at the time was at the head table because she was banging my brother.
Yeah.
So there was, my friend beside Aubrey.
Exactly.
Right there at the head table, probably talked to Aubrey twice.
Right.
That's how life happens.
So
and she was
for so many people, they care. They're like, oh, they're not married. They haven't dated that long. But at the end of the day, shit happens. Who cares? Like, you should have the people at your wedding. Like, if that person is important to your sister or friend or who cares?
Also, if you're that person, like, fucking look around. Like, if you're new, step out of the picture. Like, I would. No, I think it's
That's an interesting point, actually, because that happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
It's
so controversial. But it's one thing, I don't think people throw a fuss if you're new. I'm saying it's more of a big deal when people are like, oh, they're not married. They've only been dating for a few years.
To get invited, you mean?
No, not to get invited.
To be in a picture.
In a family picture.
Guess what? It doesn't matter anymore, though. Why? Because everything is fucking Facetune AI. Like, doesn't even matter. Person could be there and not even be there.
No, but I think it's still a thing for a lot of people who are getting married that it's like, do we have them at the head table? Like, I don't know. I personally don't think it matters. I think everything is a moment in time. It's like,
or you're pretty chill. Most people are like literally.
I know your ex is literally like reading this speech. Your ex-boyfriend, he's like literally front and center. I think he made the cover of my album. Anyways, who cares?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why it doesn't matter. Other people too.
It is actually interesting. Like I can actually think of somebody I know who was at a wedding and that did not work out and they were in every single picture.
Okay, so this is like totally off topic. Benji is like gunning for another dog.
Okay.
So
That's not surprising.
It's not surprising.
You always kind of roll with two.
Well, we got Dex, our first dog, like, I don't know, 15 years ago. And he had so much anxiety that we got Crosby to like calm him. Do you remember we were together in LA?
That's what Benji told you.
We were literally, he was totally fine. We were together in LA and Benji's
I remember,
like,
I heard that. Yeah, he was really anxious. The reason he's anxious because he literally like, you like breastfed Dex for 4 months when you didn't have a job before you started that cooking thing. And then you just said bye. And he was like, where's my mom that's been breastfeeding me? And then he had attachment issues. And then Benji saw how vulnerable you were and was like, let's get another one. And
That's
he was
actually,
how it went.
That is so accurate.
Yeah,
like I can't even
dispute it.
I
But the reality
did.
is,
He was my baby. I swaddled him. I put him in a sleep sack.
It was before you had Romy. You literally loved him. I remember it was like you were so maternal. You were ready. You loved him to pieces, and you were like distraught with like you were like, "What's my next thing?" And you wanted this cooking pat. Like I really remember it, and you were because I was living with you.
You want to know the funniest thing? I left. So my friend moved in. We got Dex, and like literally 4 weeks after, like we had a trip planned. And so my friend,
the itinerary, because I saw it because you left with me for once. Because
this wasn't for you. My friend Katie ended up coming to our house and staying over because I was so nervous about the dog. We later found this like it was a manuscript of how to take care of Dex.
I saw it.
It was like when he wakes up in the morning,
me.
tickle him under his right ear, and he'll yawn 3 times. Follow that by like a buccal face massage. I was like fucked up. I was so obsessed.
And you're criticizing these people that are asking them to step in or step out of pictures.
I was going through something. I was like, what was wrong with me?
You just really had a lot of love and you gave it to that dog. And then you fucking pulled it away and got a job, which is fine. But you got back to reality and he really missed you and you didn't set him up for success. So that big dog really helped him out for sure. And honestly, it was like they had such a cute little like codependency. It's really fucked up when a dog dies.
Well, Crosby was actually bred as like a therapy dog.
No,
he
for
was
sure.
So loving.
I mean, it was a really good sales tactic, and it's true. He is a very soothing dog.
Yeah. But Crosby passed away this summer. Yeah. It was like very sad, but he was like 12 or 13. And we have Rocky, who's 2. And Benji is like, he's like, I'm ready. I'm like,
are you?
No.
So then say no.
It's so much work.
So say no.
It's so much work.
I know, but no.
I know. I feel like I'm going to just walk in and it's like Ace Ventura. Like, you know, when he walks in and he's like,
literally, Zach's gonna have like a hamster coming out of it.
I have no say. I feel like I have no say.
I saw the creepiest thing on Instagram the other day. It was a person walking and there was a fishtail coming out of her underwear in the back. And the caption was something looks fishy. And it was in like Hong Kong on a busy street, like legit this person walking with a fish in their pants. Like the person was probably not
at a live fish.
It was flapping. It was a video of a person, you know, like this guy was wearing like a trench coat but not pants. I can't explain it. And like this probably wasn't mentally well, but there was underwear lining and it was walking busy feet. Imagine like around a market, and this guy's a fish tail flap. It just was one of those things that really made me.
Honestly, I don't know what's happening in this world. I just don't know. People are losing it.
I know, but the memes these days, I'm like the meme queen. That's the only thing I love on Instagram. Just meme.
Oh my God, the Victoria and David Beckham memes. Tell me you've watched it.
I'm on episode 3 or 4.
I am.
How many are there?
I think there's 4. I'm on 3.
Okay, so tell me where you're at, because I don't think I've finished it then. I might be on 2.
I will. Okay, well, we don't have to talk.
I'm just about when he just gets traded.
Okay. I think I'm like a half an hour ahead of you.
Right. But like, okay, this is also the part that I'm having a really hard time with.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, I love their dynamic.
Oh, I feel like I know what you're going to say. Are you going to spill the tea on David Beckham?
Well, I don't think there's much to spill. I'm sure this is just knowledge on him, no?
I don't know if it is, but go ahead. Not your gossip.
Well, isn't it factual at this point?
I don't know. We'll put it out there and see. We'll see if Ryan knows.
I don't know. I just like know for a fact that he bangs girls in Toronto when he was here. He used to come here. I know friends that worked at Ultra.
Does that.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's original. But it's just, for me, once again, if you're going to do that, okay, if you're actually going to do that, if let's say he did that, he came to Toronto, banged these like young girls that meant nothing and went back, And now he's making a documentary about the love of his life and how she got through the most like of the heart-wrenching mental health issues. Like when you watch what he had to persevere through, like I have so much respect for this fucking guy. From the pressure from his dad to imagine we are worried about getting unfollowed. He was getting the highs and the lows that he went from being like the god to the like devil back to the god within like 4 years. Like what that would do to your psyche, like he was having to perform, not even just like show up. Like celebrities have to deal with that walking in and out, like while having to perform and at your best ability. And that coach, holy shit.
Yeah.
That would make anyone mental. Like, and so this is what bothers me is that the whole documentary is centered around their like love and how she's exposing how they went through this really difficult time and whether that timeline aligns. Like, I still think he's a really shitty guy for going around and fucking all these girls while he's married and has these kids. And like, then once again, to portray it to the world that like, that's just not authentic. Like that's not real. Don't highlight that part of your life or your marriage. And if she doesn't know that, which I'm sure she does, because if he was doing that in Toronto, I'm sure he does that in every other city. And this is not to fucking shit on David Beckham or like any other fucking person in a relation like this. But if that's the behavior that's going to happen, it feels bullshitty to me to fucking praise yourself on having this really collaborative, loving marriage when you're stepping outside of it.
So here's my 2 cents on this. I think you never know what goes on in a marriage. And she alludes in the documentary to when he was in Madrid, it was the hardest time in our marriage. She's like, we were always a team. It was always him and I versus the world. In Madrid, she's like, we were against each other. Right. I think she fucking knew. I personally think it sounds like they worked through it, and whatever shit he went through, like they are past it.
Right. I don't know. I just like every athlete, every girl. I love Alex Cooper. I love what's her name. What's her name is like she made a fucking business off fucking celebrities, and like all these guys are like, you know what I mean? Alex Cooper's new little girl.
Oh, Alex Earl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's doing that little video. We should do that.
I haven't even seen it.
She's like literally, not to totally pivot, but she's like literally wearing like booty shorts and heels and like a crop top. And she's like, oh, I'm just dressed as like a mom going to pick up her kids. And then it like flashes to like an actual mom and what she's wearing going to pick up her kids. You not seen this?
Where is this?
It's like viral. It's just like viral. It's just like it's like a thing. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up my kids. And it's just,
she's like imitating the mom. Or the mom was really saying that in the outfit.
Mom, then a real mom will come on and be like wearing like sweatpants.
Oh, that's got it.
Yeah.
That's very funny. But she did it looking obviously fire.
Oh, she's
looks so beautiful. They kind of look the same.
Yes.
Don't they?
Yes. I think she's getting some flack for that.
That she hired like her twin?
Yes.
Yeah, well they do. They look actually identical. It's nuts.
Yeah. Like she had like, it was like their first podcast launch. And I feel like they had an opportunity to probably give it to a lot of amazing girls out there. And she gave it to a carbon copy of herself. We're actually going to see her.
I saw my ticket.
No, Laney's got 2 tickets.
Oh, if anyone needs them, yeah. Okay.
First person to DM us.
Yeah, honestly. I don't have it on Instagram. I logged out of our Instagram
I bet
one day.
Ryan would take the tickets for him and Sarah.
I would not.
Okay. All right, you logged out of our Instagram. I know you can't get back.
It's been months.
I know. We were at an event recently, and that girl, Bridget's daughter, was like, "Oh my gosh, like my mom messages you all the time," and you're like, "I would have no clue. Like you don't even."
I don't. I'm glad that you're happy dealing with it, and I'm glad that I'm not. It's great. I think we've always been a good team. We always have different like. There's just a chemistry here.
Yeah,
there has been since the day we met in that restaurant when
I tripped over myself.
And then we had 4,000 dirty martinis, and I think you pooped on your lawn. True or false?
I cannot. I'm pleading the fifth on that. Guys, that was, God, I used to get so, I mean, we both did.
That's what I was thinking when you're like, bring your A game today. I'm like,
we used to get so weird. Like the stories, it was.
Okay, let's end with this. Let's all say a funny, but not like one of our funniest drunk stories ever.
I feel like I can't.
Drunkest I've ever got in my life was at a Halloween party.
And what happened?
Well, I have this problem where like I get really nervous heading into social situations, so I drink too much.
Yeah.
To make myself feel better. But the
Okay.
problem with that night is I was drinking something I never drink.
Okay.
Dark liquor.
Oh.
And I went like early. I was like one of the people who got invited early, and then literally by 10:30, I was like yakking in somebody's laundry sink, and my mom had to come like pick me. I was in like high school at the time.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
last year.
yeah, and I was out by 10:30, and apparently I was saying the most fuck shit. So
Yeah. Lawrence pleading the fifth. I'm gonna go with. I have so many.
You probably have a lot. You probably have a bank full. Mine was actually probably a Halloween party as well when I was 16. It was the first time I got drunk. And I remember just mixing every liquor in my parents' liquor cabinet in a little water bottle. And I was drinking, what's the like chocolate milk?
Kahlua.
Kahlua or
Bailey's,
Bailey's. I was
yeah.
like, oh, this looks
I like
delicious.
Kahlua. Yeah.
Literally filled it.
Ugh.
Like it was chocolate milk.
Like rum. Oh, I know
And this is the
exactly
best.
what
Wait,
that
and,
tastes
and do you
like.
want to know what happened? So my parents were going away the next day, and we were it was either Marcus or Paul's house, and it was like our whole grade was there. I was barfing in the bushes. My parents couldn't pick me up, and Tal, like my best friend, her parents, who are literally the loveliest but the most strict parents,
And her mom is literally original Barbie, the most beautiful person I've ever
beautiful
seen
woman on the
in life.
planet, nicest
Hands
parents,
down, yeah.
but so strict.
Okay.
They literally had to like carry me into their car while I was like blackout.
Oh God,
like, of
so
all,
people
of
like
all
it's like the
parents.
one you're like
and
never.
I just remember it was like a year before I could even look her in the
I
eye.
hate that shit.
A year.
And just like live every like eyes down in the car.
Eyes like
See that's trauma.
trauma. And I remember saying to Tal, I was like, your parents hate me. And she was like, no. She's like, they were just so glad it wasn't me.
That's true. That's true. And your parents were probably like, Lauren.
My mom was like, oh,
Laura.
lols. She was like, if this is the worst thing you do, I'll be thrilled. She's like, toodaloo, I'm off.
Read the message that your mom just sent you.
She's, what did she say? I remember she goes to my dad. She goes, oh, she's sick from the drink.
From the drink.
From the drink, Sid.
Like
She's
it's
sick
poison.
from the drink. So not to. While you're thinking of your story, we're going in a couple weeks to get my mom's tattoo because it's her birthday. So she needs.
She's
like,
getting one.
She doesn't care. My mom is so easily influenced. She literally. I was like,
Does she have a tattoo?
nope.
She's just going because she's getting one because of you.
She saw my tattoo. She's like, I
I'm
think I want one.
dead.
So we need ideas.
Can I come?
Obviously,
Where's she getting
I
it?
feel like we should like live stream it.
Where's she getting it?
My place, Chronic Ink, with
Is
my
she
guy.
getting? Imagine she gets like a teardrop.
Or like the Eve like cat paws on her tits.
Okay, well, no, she's gonna want to do something
She wants
British.
to do something with like the grandkids' initials. British, like a pot pie,
No, like I feel like she wants to do like a homage to her peeps.
like a flag,
She's got to do
a Union Jack.
Yeah, like right on her top of her ass, bullseye, a Union Jack.
My mom is so easily
No,
influenced. Like I don't
Okay,
want to.
okay, this is the fucking game. Where could I? What is the weirdest spot I could get your mom to get a tattoo if I convinced her it was cool? If you're saying where could you convince her? that
well,
she-
I think she wants her wrist. Like I think she likes her wrist,
okay,
but like
like
her
tits.
shoulder would be kind of funny.
I'm
just
saying
unexpected.
Like I'm saying here.
I think that would be painful though on your breastbone. I think
She
that would
wouldn't
hurt.
do that, would she?
I don't think she's got a pain tolerance. I think it's low.
I could see her foot. She's got great legs, your mom.
She has beautiful feet too.
And she's got really nice feet. I could see
Yeah.
your mom doing something really nice on
Got
her
a
feet. Like
high
I'm going
arch.
real. Yeah.
yeah, high
The legs
arch.
and her feet are really nice. Like she could do like the one with like instead of getting like that little chain with the cross, you could get it with like a Jewish star. The one that Nicole Richie has, you know,
What
that
if she
everyone got
like
it.
or cursive. What if she
Yeah.
got out? Because she always says, "Oh, doll." She got "Oh, doll" with like a Union Jack.
Perfect. That is so good. Oh, doll.
Okay, Mom, Manchester Jam.
That's perfect. Please make her get O'Doll or
You'll
just
come.
doll.
I feel like you'll
D-A-D. How are you spelling doll?
I think
Not D-O-L-L. No,
like
D-A-U.
D-A-H-L, like Bella Doll.
No, like doll. Me and my friend used to spell it like as a joke. D-A-U.
D-A-U
D-A-U-L.
doll.
Yeah, like doll. Yeah.
Okay, we'll think about it. Anyways, you'll come. I feel like she needs help with the design.
Okay, I think but I think I'm gonna help her out. I'm not gonna make this ugly. Like I was joking with the bullseye.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But you're like, she would do anything.
Well,
I'm
she,
like,
I mean, within reason. She's not getting like a face tattooed on her back.
I don't know. Like I actually am really embarrassed with a lot of my drunk stories.
Okay, well, we can skip over
I don't
it.
think, no, like I did something like, one time I did think I think is like the funniest thing ever, but I think it's not that, like, I think some people might not think it's
We'll say it, and we can be the ones to decide.
Well, we kind of wimped out on our stories.
Yeah,
I feel
ours
like
were kind of lame.
Yeah.
Mine was because someone was being I did it because I was litty. Like I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't drunk.
Well, let's hear it.
You were there for it. It happened when we were on Consley's Bachelorette. Or Consley's Bachelorette, yeah.
What happened there? You'll have to be more specific.
It happened at that person's house when we were invited for the pre-drink.
This is the best story.
Well, I would have never done this, and this is gonna. People are gonna. If I say this on this, people are gonna really judge me. But like at this point,
I actually disagree.
I love you.
But you have to give the full context of the story because it is amazing, and it's actually a girl power story.
I know it's just okay. Well, and I'm not upset about it. I would do it actually over again.
Ryan's so excited. Ryan's
some
Yeah,
serious.
no, I'm just
literally-
laughing because we pussed out on our story. We have
pussed-
way
no,
worse,
this is
like we have
such a
way
good
worse
story.
stories, and we just pussed
Okay,
out. and you're-
Ryan's
Okay, well, I'll give you an
salivating.
opportunity to do
Let's
round
go,
two.
and we're gonna end on this
'Kay.
funny fucking story.
Great. Oh God. Okay. So this is like a no judgment zone. No, fuck that. I don't give a shit. You guys will judge me all day fucking long. So let's go. We were on my sister-in-law's bachelorette in
Saint-Tropez.
Saint-Tropez. And I know sounds bougie it was, but that is where we were. And we met these people and they were like, come to our fucking insane mansion house because we're going to the same club dinner place for dinner. Fine. And it wasn't just like dudes, by the way. This was like, we befriended like a woman that was like awesome. Remember, she broke her leg that night?
So nice.
She broke her
Yeah,
leg
I
that
think
night.
she stepped on glass.
She fully broke her ankle. Anyways, that's where the night ended. But she was really nice. It was like a friend, and then it was her and her partner, and it was his friend. So it was like, it was very welcoming. It wasn't just a bunch of douchebag guys, just to paint the picture clear. So we go over, we first walk up to this one house, and it was not the house. It was literally this mansion. They were like, you're going this way. It was
a complex.
it was the biggest kind of complex we've ever seen. We then researched it because we were looking at places when we went back for Lawrence, and it was insane.
Yeah.
It was probably like a 10-bedroom.
It was
insane.
crazy.
No, but just to give you, it's like over this villa, like 4 pools. It was probably one of the most magnificent properties I have ever seen. We're sitting down. There's cocktails being served. I'm like, literally, like my Zara skirt is ripping. I'm like, what is going on? I don't think I was wearing underwear. No, I'm kidding. And
Very detailed.
no, I know. I was just trying to like show like we were like in really nice. Anyways, I was wearing underwear. I always do. So we're sitting there and we start chatting with these guys, and it's like funny and like, you know, we're kind of getting hit on, but it's all PG and it's all good. Then this one guy gets like pretty drunk. It's like 45 minutes later, and he starts like saying some stuff, and I'm like, okay, it's like really starting to bother me. And like everyone else is like pretty polite, but like getting pretty offended. Then he started like hitting on me, and I was just like not into it at all. And he called me a cunt, which I fucking hate that word, and just said something nasty about like women. He was just like, you're so typical, like dressed like that or blah, blah, blah. And what the comment was before is, yeah, as a girl, we were dressed like sexy, we were going out, but he made me feel like misleading because I was wearing a short skirt. Anyways,
It was beyond.
it was
derogatory.
beyond. It was
Okay.
beyond. It was
No,
like something like
that's
off.
not cool.
Like
It was actually disgusting. I feel like you're even being nice to him.
yeah,
It was
because I don't want to go
was
into it, and I don't want
horrendous.
to. But it
Yeah.
was like nasty what he said. It was like made me feel like a disgusting piece of shit for being like a woman, and I was like, huh. And I was just like, I looked at his friend. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. And I looked at the guy that invited us. I'm like, get this fucking guy out of here. I'm like, and everyone was like pretty upset, like not upset, but the people couldn't believe he was saying. So he's like, okay. This guy fucking walks off and he's going. So then like the guy whose house it is like making sure like I'm okay, but like want more to drink. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, let's just go like at the house or something. I needed to walk. So me and Consuelo, my sister-in-law, took the tour of the house, and we were like this house was insane. Every ensuite was bigger than the next. So finally we get to like the 10th bedroom of this complex, and I see fucking drunk loser walk into one of the rooms. And our tour has ended, and he's off in the bedroom, but the ensuite of his bathroom is right before the bedroom. So I look at Consuelo, and we look at each other, and I'm like, fuck, like in my head, the wheels are turning. I'm like, what I could be doing, this piece of shit. We go into the bathroom. I look around, saw the toothbrush, and I just fucking went for it. I pulled down my pants and I stuck that toothbrush right up my asshole. And I did a good little wipe around on both sides. I dropped it. I put it back in his fucking cup and I walked out. And Consuelo and I, Clancy, we like high five. She was beyond. I don't know. Honestly, it could have been her idea. I don't know. Things happened so quickly, but there may or may not have been poo particles on that. And we laughed, and it was like victory was mine. And that was probably like the most like disgusting drunk. Like, I can't believe I did that fucking story, but also empowering. Like, it's not even that lol. It's like disgusting, but yeah. I like hope he brushed his fucking teeth and tasted my shit because he's a piece of shit.
Imagine it was the girl's toothbrush who broke her ankle. Like, imagine it wasn't even his.
Yeah, like we went out that night. The girl had the worst day. She had to deal with all this shit, and shit fell off a table. And like her boyfriend was being such a douchebag, obviously. And we're like, maybe you should find some new friends. Ugh.
Oh, that's a
Anyways.
great
Did
story.
not disappoint.
Okay,
it's a
well,
great story.
and it
Did
is
not
true. We had
disappoint.
proof that wasn't made up.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have. That seems like a made up story.
Coming from you, I feel like that
I don't know.
that tracks.
His name is more credible. Well, I hope we ended it on light note. We took it all around the world
that
today.
was, yeah.
We took it
I
around
don't know what the
world.
purpose was, but that's just what you get when you tune into Annie and Ren.
The purpose was to literally talk about nothing.
Okay, did it. Done.
Leave you with the visual of the toothbrush.
Yeah, I was a white bristle head.
Never let Lanny in your never let an angry Lanny in your bathroom.
Don't fuck with me.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, guys, have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.